Anybody that knows me knows that I do like taking my Jeeps off-road and getting them dirty, but I also like keeping them clean. So having stuff like this just doesn't work for me. Just the random road grime, making it dirty but not off-road dirty, really is annoying. Hey, buddy. So today we're going to take care of that, and we're going to install the Jeep Xtreme Recon Fender Flares on the Gladiator. Now these were never designed to go on the Gladiator. These are actually for a Wrangler, so there will be a couple of modifications that we're going to have to make. But this is definitely going to make a big difference. As you can see, there is a good couple of inches of flare that this brings out. So it's definitely going to help to cover the poke out of the tire and really help to stop a lot of that back spray when you're on a wet road and that kind of thing. So this is going to be installed kind of like this, and we're going to be using plastic rivets. Now one of the other reasons I'm going to do this is when I installed the American Adventure Lab inner fender liners and removed the factory plastic fender liner, I drilled out all the plastic rivets that were holding it in place. So one of the things I figured out when I did the inner fender liners on the 392 was to use a plastic pin tool that actually you squeeze and it spreads apart in between the lip of this fender and the inner fender liner, and just pop the inner fender liner off the rivets and you can leave the rivets in place. But I didn't do that on the Gladiator, so I've actually got a bunch of just open holes where the old rivets used to be. So this will actually help to cover that up and take care of it. We'll refill those holes with new rivets when we apply these fender flares. So let's get going on this, and yeah, it should be a pretty easy install. So there are a couple of things that you're going to need for this. You're obviously going to need the fender flares themselves, and you're also going to need some bags of the plastic rivets. I don't know exactly how many yet. I'll count these out and figure it out here. You'll also need a drill with a drill bit. Now I'm going to start with a 1/4 inch drill bit. That looks to be about the right size for these plastic rivets. I may have to step it up one, but I'm going to start with a 1/4 inch and see if that works. You will also need a plastic rivet tool similar to this one. I'll leave a link in the description below. I got this off of Amazon. Really not too expensive, but just a basic little plastic rivet tool. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out if any of these existing rivets that I left in need to be removed, and just mark out where all the rivets are going to be. So you can see there are a number of holes in these. And again, this was designed for a Wrangler Rubicon, not a Gladiator, so there are some differences. The front shouldn't be a whole lot different, but the rear definitely is going to be different. So we're going to go ahead and put this up into place and just identify where we need to place new rivets. So already I can see this rivet's going to need to be drilled out. This one's already drilled out. That one's good. And we'll need to drill a new hole for the secondary one at the bottom here, on the bottom here. So let's see. This one needs to be drilled out. There's going to be another one. It needs to be drilled out in there. Drill that one out. And there'll be another one right there. Okay, so you can see where, and actually I'll put one more. All right, so you can see where all of the holes are in the flare and where they correspond. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the fronts. We'll see how many we get to the rear. So you'll need 18 rivets to do just the front flares. So I'm going to go ahead and drill out these existing rivets here, get these out of the way, and I guess a dog needs to be pet. So, what's up, dude? What are you doing? What are you doing, bud? Oh, look, there's another one. Here's another one. How the boys, huh? You guys helping? You guys gonna help? All right. All right, let me get the drill and we can help. Okay, so we got our rivets, got our piece here. So we'll start with a couple of the existing holes. All right, so I've just got 1, 2, 3 holes to still drill. I mean, I guess you could, if you wanted to, leave those, but I'd rather fill them in. Give it that nice clean look. So got a 1/4 inch drill bit is perfect. All right, so there is one of the flares done. You can see the rivets in there. So it definitely helps to clean up the look. And look at that. So you can really see it definitely helps to cover a lot more of that tire. All right, so we got one of the fronts done. We'll do the other one and then we'll move on to the rear. Now, as I previously mentioned, these are not designed for the Gladiator specifically. So it kind of looks as though none of the holes line up on this. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to put this in place so that I can drill all the holes. All right, so I've just got the flare clamped on with a few clamps here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start drilling some holes and we can start putting the rivets in. All right, there we go. That is looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna like that. All right, so there it is. We have installed the Xtreme Recon Fender Flares on the Gladiator. Really a pretty easy install. Just about anybody can do this in their driveway, in their garage. Very simple on the tools you need. Just a real simple, clean install, and it definitely gives you some good extra coverage for that splashback. So really looking forward to this. I'm super happy with the way it has turned out and the way it looks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on Second Chance Overland.